What do you do when the excitement disappears? When the fire that once fueled you burns out? The truth is, motivation will always fade, but consistency, the ability to keep showing up no matter what, is what separates dreamers from achievers. And today, I'll show you the 10 rules to stay consistent even when motivation is nowhere to be found. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stay consistent, even on the days you feel tired, unmotivated, or ready to quit. And trust me, Rule 5 and Rule 6 are absolute game changers, the kind that could completely shift how you see success. So stay tuned. 1. Understand that motivation is temporary. Motivation is like sugar. It gives you a quick rush, but it doesn't last. Consistency, on the other hand, is like nutrition. It sustains you for the long run. Think about New Year's resolutions. Gyms are packed in January, full of people. But by March, only discipline decides who's still showing up. And that's the first truth. You can't depend on motivation. So what should you depend on instead? Systems. 2. Create a system, not just goals. Goals point you in the right direction, but systems keep you moving forward. James Clear in Atomic Habits explains it perfectly. Winners and losers often share the same goals, but their systems separate them. Don't just say, "I want to read more." Build a system, 10 pages before going to bed every night. Systems make success automatic even when motivation disappears. 3. Start small and build momentum. Big goals can feel overwhelming, especially when motivation fades. But small, daily actions, they're easier to maintain. If your dream is to run a marathon, start with 5 minutes a day. Small steps build trust with yourself, and trust builds momentum. And once you trust yourself to keep going, discipline starts to take over. 4. Use discipline as your safety. Net motivation is unreliable. It whispers, "I'll do it when I feel like it." But discipline speaks louder. "I'll do it because I promised myself I would." Think of discipline as the autopilot on a plane. When turbulence hits, when motivation disappears, autopilot keeps the plane steady until the sky's clear. Without discipline, you're flying blind. The moment life gets rough, you crash. Discipline is your safety net. It catches you when motivation lets you fall. And that's why the people who win aren't the ones who always feel inspired. They're the ones who build a net strong enough to never let them quit. If you've made it this far, it means you're enjoying the content, and we're so glad to have you here. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found value. It helps us reach more incredible people like you and fuels our mission to inspire and empower lives worldwide. Now let's dive back and continue this exciting journey. 5. Redefine success as showing up. We've been taught to measure success by results, big milestones, massive wins, perfect outcomes. But here's the truth. Success starts with something much simpler: showing up. Writers who finish books don't write perfect pages every day. Some days they write badly, but they write. And over time, the messy pages become masterpieces. Athletes don't become champions because every practice is flawless. They become champions because they keep showing up, even on the days they feel like quitting. Consistency doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. And when you keep showing up day after day, perfection starts to build itself. 6. Build accountability. When motivation fails, accountability steps in. Alone, it's easy to make excuses. But when someone else is counting on you, quitting isn't an option. Think about it. You might skip a solo workout, but if a friend is waiting at the gym, you'll show up. That's the power of accountability. A workout partner, a mastermind group, even announcing your goals publicly. These create external pressure that strengthens your internal commitment. Discipline may start with you, but accountability makes sure you don't let yourself down. 7. Remove decision fatigue. Every choice you make costs mental energy. The more you decide, the weaker your willpower becomes, and that's why so many people quit before they even start. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day, not because he lacked style, but because he understood that fewer decisions mean more energy for what truly matters. Champions don't waste focus deciding whether to train. They've already eliminated the choice. So prepare your gym clothes the night before. Plan your meals. Automate your routines. Because when you remove the small decisions, you free your mind for the big ones. 8. Reward discipline, not just outcomes. Most people only celebrate when they hit the big milestone. The problem? That keeps your brain chasing results instead of the process. And when progress feels slow, motivation disappears. High achievers know the secret. Don't just reward the finish line, reward the steps that get you there. If you commit to 7 straight days of working out, celebrate it. If you keep your writing streak alive for a week, reward it. Because when your brain learns to enjoy the act of showing up, discipline becomes addictive. And once discipline feels good, consistency becomes second nature. Pause for a moment and think, what's one small system or habit you could start today that would keep you consistent even when motivation fades? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear it, and your idea might inspire someone else here in the OUK Empower family. To our returning subscribers and viewers, a special shout out. Thank you for your unwavering support. You're the driving force behind this channel's growth, and we deeply appreciate you. If you're new here, welcome to the OUK Empower family. Subscribe and take the first step towards unlocking your full potential with us. Here's a fun challenge. If you've just joined, drop a comment saying, "I'm in for the fun," and I'll personally drop a heart to show my appreciation. Now let's dive back and wrap this up powerfully. 9. Embrace boredom as part of the process. Success isn't always exciting. Sometimes it's repetitive. Champions don't win because they love every practice. They win because they master the boring, unglamorous stuff. Consistency means pushing forward even when it's not thrilling, because that's where true progress hides. 10. Remember your why. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline carries you far. But your why, that's the fuel that never runs out. A parent working late at night isn't driven by excitement. They're exhausted. But what keeps them moving is the vision of giving their children a better life. An athlete training at 5 a.m. isn't thrilled every morning. What gets them out of bed is the dream of standing on that podium. Your why is your anchor when everything else fails. Because when the pain gets heavy and the excuses get loud, your why reminds you of the bigger picture, the reason quitting is not an option. Here are your takeaways from today's video. Motivation is a visitor. It comes and goes. Consistency is the resident. It stays, it builds, it transforms. The truth is, success isn't about waiting until you feel ready. It's about showing up, especially on the days you don't want to. Because the people who win in life aren't the most motivated. They're the most consistent. And if you can master consistency, there's nothing, absolutely nothing you can't achieve. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Create the moment, show up, stay consistent, and watch your life transform before your very eyes. If you've watched until the very end, type "consistency wins motivation" in the comments. I want to see how many of you are truly committed. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out the videos on your screen. They're packed with more powerful tips to keep you growing. I'll see you in the next one.